Hello and welcome. Does the victory of the pro-Western March 14th alliance in Lebanon's election mean a setback for Hezbollah? More importantly, where does it leave the group's regional supporters, Syria and Iran? Western fears of a major Hezbollah victory didn't materialize, as the March 14th alliance took 71 of the 128 seats, led by Saad Hariri, the son of the assassinated Prime Minister Rafiq Hariri. It was his killing in 2005 that triggered a backlash, leading to a popular revolt against Syria's 29-year presence in Lebanon. The unprecedented voter turnout that denied victory to the opposition Hezbollah-led March 8th alliance also brought sighs of relief to the United States, which has labelled Hezbollah a designated terrorist group. It means that US support for the Lebanese government, to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, is likely to continue. Behind the scenes, there are clear indications that Hezbollah will still continue to wield the powerful influence it has had, running what's been described as a parallel government. So what will really change? On today's show, we examine Lebanon's prospects for a new government and ask, can the March 14th alliance build enough support to bring stability to the country? Remember, you can join in with the conversation with your questions and comments. Log on to livestation.com/AJE, enter the chat room and take part. And also you can phone into the show as well. Now, joining me from Lebanon's capital is Eli Khoury, the Foreign Affairs Advisor for the Lebanese Forces Party. The LF is one of the major groups making up the March 14th alliance. And to give us perspective on the opposition March 8th alliance, we have political analyst Kamel Wazni. Professor Wazni is a regular contributor on Hezbollah's network television, Al Manar. Gentlemen, I welcome you to the show. And Eli Khoury, if I could start with you, please, sir, and ask you, the March 14th alliance may have pulled it off at the polls, but what is the real prospect of coming together and forming a government anytime soon? What can actually be done without Hezbollah's involvement?
Well, I would say that in the coming period, we would like to see Hezbollah participating in the National Unity Cabinet. This will be based on the equation of majority and minority without the third plus as veto power. And I believe in the next few weeks, as we heard yesterday from Mr. Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, it was a positive statement. We feel positive about it, and we have a great hope to see Hezbollah and the opposition in general participating in this national unity government.
Right. Well, let me get Professor Kamel Wazni in and ask why the March 8th alliance, which was largely touted to win this election, has failed to do so at the polls. What happened? What gave Saad Hariri the advantage?
Well, obviously, if you look at the result of the election, the alliance of Hezbollah won the majority vote but lost the majority in parliament. All the number indicate that the Hezbollah alliance got 860,000 vote, where the other majority in parliament got around 600 something thousands vote. Lebanon is a funny political system where it does violate every constitutional voting right, where it's violate the one man, one vote right. And actually, Zahli was, this is a city in Lebanon, I guess, was the one that lost the election, because there was a lot of money, a lot of support. I think the United States put its prestige on the line. They sent their vice president, Biden. He met with the 14th of March. And I think there's other Arab country put a lot of money. And the political system with the corruption that taken place in this country play an important role in this election. And, you know, at the end, I guess we have to respect the result of the election and move on, because there is more important than this election is unity of this country. And I think Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah sent that tone, calling for reconciliation and building on these steps, hopefully for a reform election laws in the coming years.
Right. Let me ask Eli Khoury, though, has Hezbollah overreached? Is it taking on too much? I mean, perhaps going in the wrong direction, considering how much the region has changed and considering the way that the new US administration is approaching the developments in the Middle East?
Well, I believe because the new administration in the U.S. with President Obama are changing their style in terms of engaging Syria and talking to Syria and Iran, this is a good reason for Hezbollah to join a cabinet based on the national unity without any preconditions. And that's what we feel that Hezbollah is going in this direction.
One thing, though, Mr. Khoury, is that Hezbollah, of course, has a strong infrastructure in Lebanon and a strong social infrastructure. And I wonder, considering it's seen to have a parallel government in the country, whether irrespective of the results of the election, whether anything really will change in Lebanon.
Let me remind everybody about an issue which was raised by Mr. Hassan Nasrallah in the late October of 2006, when we had the same dispute and dilemma in forming a cabinet in that time. Said Hassan Nasrallah was asking for an early election in that time, and he was ready to accept the result of this early election if it is according to a new electoral law. And that's what happened recently, 2 days ago. We went through a new election based on the new electoral law. It was agreed on in Doha understanding, and we expect from Hezbollah to be consistent with his promises and to facilitate the formation of this coming cabinet.
I wonder, Professor Wezni, if you can hear me, the question I had for you was, would Hezbollah consider joining a unity government without condition, that is without the kind of veto power, for example, that it was given under last year under Qatari mediation?
Well, I think the intention for the opposition to join this government and to be very decisive in carrying the interest of the people. The veto power, that's a right that actually should be granted to them, and I think that's Mr. Frangieh. He's one of the opposition. He declared very clearly that without that vetoing power, there will be an obstacle to join this government. But that's still in the table for discussion and debate, and I think the president of the country wanted to see this country move forward. Every other constitutional government has that veto power. In the United States, any appointment by the president has to be confirmed by the Senate. And if the Senate doesn't like it, he can filibuster that. That means they have a veto power. If they like the United States very much and emulate it in everywhere, they have that veto power. Let's have it in Lebanon and get away with the country.
Interesting, Professor, that one of the big upsets was that General Michel Aoun of the March 8th Alliance, the opposition, was unable to bring in the Christian vote as expected. I mean, to what extent might that have been that Christian voters were a little worried to go too close to an alliance, the March 8th Alliance, when it has, I guess, a closer proximity to Iran?
Well, obviously, my own estimate, and my colleagues can confirm that, actually he gained more vote in this election. I think the last time he had probably like 15 member of the parliament. Today, General Aoun has 21 member of the parliament. So I guess he gained some vote. Did he got the same vote he got it last time? No. I guess there is distribution of power, and we have to look at the history of the Christians before even Hezbollah was in existence. And there's was a lot of friction and a bloody war between the Lebanese forces and Aoun. And this is actually is playing in this election in different names, and probably under the maybe connection with Iran and other things. But in the Christian, there's always been a division between the Phalange, the Lebanese forces, and Aoun. But I think General Aoun, with all due respect, mustered some additional vote, a new seat in this parliament, but probably his expectation was very high, and I guess didn't get everything he wanted.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to stand by because we have to take a very short break now. As we pause, let me remind you, our viewers, you can join the conversation with your questions and comments by logging on to livestation.com and entering the chat room, where you can see there's a debate taking place. Join that if you can. We'll be right back.